Hey guys, what's up? It's Noelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be episode 4 of our wedding planning series. If you guys didn't know, I do have a playlist of all things wedding related, so I will link it up here for you guys. But if you haven't seen 1 through 3, go check those out. I did a video about finding your venue. I did a video about finding your wedding dress, which I didn't show any footage in that just because Justin, he was like, I do not want to see you in a wedding dress at all. So I tried to be respectful of that and just kind of like talk you through the process, what to expect, because honestly, I had no idea going into it what to expect. So I thought that video would be helpful anyway without actual like dress footage. And then the last episode was all things vendors. I gave you tips and tricks for finding vendors and where you can kind of save money and budget. And then I also did give you average costs for each of the vendors. So if you guys are curious for a 2024 wedding, how much it would cost, go to that video. I feel like the wedding industry is very like hush hush about prices, so I wanted to be pretty transparent. So go check that video out. But today's video is going to be like 5 months out from your wedding. What do you need to do? So if you guys didn't know, this was one thing I didn't really think about when planning a wedding, but you plan and you book your vendors like a year, year and a half out, depending, again, if you live in a big city, probably a year and a half, 2 years before you're gonna get married, especially if you have one specific venue you want to get married at. You need to make sure it's available when you want to get married. The thing I wasn't prepared for is you book all these vendors, right? And for us, we booked like a year and a half out just because we were planning it cross country. We were getting married in Virginia and we currently live in Texas. So we kind of had to plan more in advance just so that we weren't flying to Virginia like every single month. But what I wasn't prepared for is that you book all the vendors, you pay them their deposit fee, and then you don't talk to them for like 8-10 months. Again, depending on how far in advance you book them. You literally just don't talk to them, don't hear from them while you're still paying them, because a lot of them set up payments, like depending on how much you owe them, they'll split their payments into 2, 3, or 4 payments from the time you book them and send them the deposit to secure your date all the way up into your wedding. So it's kind of weird. You're paying people that haven't done anything for you yet, but will eventually do something for you. So now we're fast forwarding to the point where you actually start talking to your vendors again. You're actually facilitating those conversations, and we're gonna talk about other little things that you should probably be doing and getting ready for, because that 5 months, 4 months, whatever it is going to fly by. So currently, we are in that stage. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. We need to secure our timeline. We need to figure out details. I have been reaching out to our vendors and we are planning appointments, 2-month appointments, 1-month appointments. Like, it is all happening right now. We just had our tasting and my first dress fitting. So let me briefly go over that. The tasting, I had no idea what to expect, but it was actually pretty fun. We just went to our caterer and they put us in this big room, and it looked like they had like 10 to 15 tables set up for different couples to show up. And so we had to plan ours a little earlier than their normal like routine time that they offer couples. But we got there and basically someone from our venue was there as well, and she was there to just kind of jot down notes, write down what appetizers, salad, and main courses we picked, and that was pretty much it. But it was a lot of food because they present the food exactly how they would present it at the wedding. So you get an idea of like what it would look like, the presentation, and then obviously you taste it as well to make sure it's something you want to serve your guests and also a meal that you want yourself. It was a lot of food, but they did give us containers to take home, which was super nice. So we had leftovers for the next few days, and my mom also got to try some food. Tasting was super fun. And I will say something I didn't know, but at least for us, we were able to actually choose meals different than the options that we gave our guests. For example, say we wanted to give our guests a kale salad. Well, I don't like kale salad, so I want a Caesar salad for myself. We were able to do that, and even Justin could pick something separate from me. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was nice. Like, it makes you as a couple feel, you know, extra special, because even if it's not something you're offering your guests, you still have the opportunity to make sure you're eating something that you love on your wedding day. Next is the fitting. So obviously the fitting for your wedding dress, it's gonna be different based on how much you're altering your dress. For me, I don't have many alterations needed. Really, she's just taking it in the waist and like the chest area, like a centimeter on each side. And then she's cutting off a few inches on the bottom to just make sure it's level with the floor based off the shoes that I'm wearing. And then also she is adding a bustle. So really only 3 things for me, and I'm going to have another fitting in a couple of months. But if you're adding a lot to your dress or you need a lot more alterations, you might need, instead of just 2, you might need 3 or 4. That just depends on your design and the look you want, but the fitting for me was just not fun. I explained this in my last vlog a little bit, but again, didn't know what to expect, but it was basically a 30-40 minute appointment, and she was like just down to the nitty-gritty. She was like, okay, this is wrong with the dress, can't fix this, can't do this, we're gonna tuck it in here, how do you like it? She gave me 3 bustle options to choose from. I chose one and she was like, okay, bye, done. Like, it was very quick. I don't know if it was just her like demeanor or like, I don't know. The vibe just was off for me, but this was a tailor that my bridal shop recommended, so I trust her to do a good job. It's just the execution and the way she was like talking to me just wasn't, I guess, what I was expecting or prepared for. It was very like harsh in my opinion, but as long as the dress looks good, I don't really care. But basically at the fitting, you obviously need your dress, and then you need to know what shoes you're gonna wear because they will base the length on that. So make sure you have your shoes, and if you have a couple options, try it on with the dress and then decide then and there, because they're gonna make alterations based off that, and you can't really switch it unless the shoes are the exact same height. But other than that, that's really all you need. I brought jewelry and my mom's veil to try to see the whole look of it together. I did try the veil on, but I didn't have time to put my earrings on. It was just too chaotic and I was just not having a good time. I don't know if that's something you can do at yours, but I would just bring stuff just in case to see if you have time, because that's really one of the few times you'll be able to see like the full look with the dress and the shoes and the jewelry and the veil, because otherwise it's gonna be at the tailor. You're not gonna have it once you go to your first fitting. The next time I see everything together will be literally on my wedding day, which is kind of scary. So other things I wanna talk about is, 1, get in touch with all your vendors. For us, this is really important because like I said, we're not trying to fly to Virginia every single week. So we're right now planning a trip to Virginia 2 months out from our wedding, and we're trying to schedule like all of our necessary appointments during that time frame. Whether we have to stay there a week and a half, I don't know yet, but so far we have our walkthrough scheduled. I have my hair and makeup trial scheduled. I have my second dress fitting scheduled. We've contacted the photographer, the DJ, and our coordinator, and I would say those are the big 3 that really make your timeline and are really important for your timeline. Our photographer has photos like down to the 5-minute, 10-minute mark. So she has that absolutely planned out. And then our DJ also needs to know the timing, just because, you know, when to play certain songs, when to play like your walking down the aisle songs and all of that. And then obviously the coordinator should be coordinating everything. If you have a day of, month of, whatever it is, they need to know all the details as well. So I'd say those are the 3 big coordinators to get in touch with now at the 4 month mark. And then you'll have a lot more meetings at like the 2, the 1 month, and then weeks leading up to your wedding, but that's a good start for now. Also, other little random things that I would suggest or that we're currently doing are getting our wedding bands. You need to decide if you want a prenup or not. We need to book our shuttle and transportation for people. We need to book our own hotel room for us after the wedding. We need to plan our honeymoon, which is something we've started to do. We already booked our flights, but we've been starting to look at hotels, places we want to stay, how much we want to travel. A tip I would also recommend is paying your vendors early. Like I mentioned before, depending on how much you owe the vendor, they're going to split their costs between 2, 3, or 4 times. And the last payment will be due basically a week or 2 weeks before your wedding. So that is a large chunk of money that you're paying within like 2 weeks. So what Justin and I have been doing is we've been paying vendors early, so that way we're not owing like a crap ton of money, like I said, right before our wedding, also right before our honeymoon, so that way it's more dispersed. I almost forgot a pretty big thing too that we're doing right now is that we are verifying everyone's address, all the guest addresses. We've been making our invitation that we're gonna mail out. We've been formatting, choosing which one we want, the colors, the envelope. So we've been doing all of that to prepare for a couple months out when we will actually send out the invitations. A lot of websites now, you can put the addresses in a spreadsheet and then upload it. And for free, they will print the name and address of all your guests so you don't have to sit there writing everyone's names down. But I will say, we are using Minted and they do charge like $60 if you wanna write your own address, like the return address on there. So that's something Justin and I will be doing ourselves to save some money. We will be handwriting our address, which is fine. At least the other address is already there. So it cuts time in half, but just a little tip here and there, ways to save money. I think that kind of sums it up. I think the main point here is you need to just get in contact with your vendors and then start doing all those little things, because like I said, time will go by so fast. And for me, the biggest thing I'm kind of working through right now is like making sure we're not forgetting anything. So check with your friends who've already been married, ask them for advice. Also, we've been using the Knot, their wedding checklist to make sure that we're not forgetting anything. Obviously, your coordinator should be a great resource as well. But yeah, I didn't want to make this video too long, but I hope that's helpful. There's, like I said, a lot of random little things that you're starting to do because, like I said, it's actually time to start planning versus just waiting. I feel like booking vendors is the first phase and then you wait, and then second phase is just, like I said, all the little tasks. They're more fun, I feel like. It's getting exciting. You get to design things. Wedding bands I'm super excited for. Like, I can't wait. Justin keeps saying, can I wear it before the wedding? Can I wear it before the wedding? I'm like, I guess, but just don't lose it. Don't scratch it. Now I feel like it feels like we're having a wedding. I'm so ready to get married. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment below things that I missed, things you did a couple months out from your wedding. The excitement, your feelings, just everything. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.